Welcome to the Energetically You podcast, where we will be talking about healthy habits, abundant mindset, and optimal wellness. I'm your host, Megan Swan, creator of the Sustainable Integrated Wellness Approach. At 30, I sold everything and went on my own eat, pray, love journey, if you will. And now, at 41, I'm still on my first stop here in Mexico, loving life and feeling more energy than ever before. This podcast is for ambitious women who are looking to level up their energy so that they feel happier and more productive throughout their day in all of their projects and passions. Inside, we are going to be talking about ways to truly tune in to our minds and bodies in new ways to leverage our natural energy sources. So let's dive in. Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Swan. I am a wellness and mindset coach specializing in detoxification, mindfulness, stress management, plant-based living, yoga, and meditation. Today, I wanted to speak with you about how we can leverage the power of gratitude. I believe that gratitude is a spirit within us all, and I wanted to give you 5 ways in which you can help cultivate more gratitude in your life. So the first one is when you are sitting down to eat, just taking that moment, even if you're not a religious person, taking a moment to express gratitude for the food that is on your plate and go a few steps further. It just takes a couple of seconds of imagining, visualizing out everything that went into that plate of food. So expressing gratitude for the sun and the water and the soil that went into all the systems, the incredible, ingenious systems of nature that we take for granted on a daily basis that allow us to harness the energy from the sun and bring it into our bodies and fuel us through our days. So just taking a moment to really put in perspective everything that goes into the nourishment on your plate in front of you at a given moment. And then the second step you can take is in the morning when you're getting ready, you could journal or you could just think to yourself, every morning you want to replay 3 memories that you are grateful for. So in the beginning, you might be thinking of like really big life-changing memories like the day you graduated or the birth of a child or your first interview or the first time that you bought a brand new car or what else? Your wedding day, for example, your first kiss, all those amazing memories that we have and we hold, but sometimes we don't replay that often. So just take 30 seconds up to 2 minutes and really visualize. You can do it, like I said, while you're getting ready, or you can sit down and close your eyes for a minute and really try and transport yourself back there. This is one of the superpowers we have as humans, our ability to imagine, to visualize things that are not in our current reality, to really incorporate them, feel the energy of that moment again. So that's number 2. Number 3, start a meditation or a mindful practice. Why? What does this specifically have to do with gratitude? Well, I'll paint it to you this way. It is very difficult to shift into gratitude mode, if you will, or easily access our gratitude mode when we are in our accelerated lives. So meditating or a mindful practice, and it doesn't have to be meditation. It could literally be that you spend a few moments, a couple minutes a day staring out the same window and just noticing what changed from yesterday, or looking up at the sky and noticing the clouds, or observing exactly how the leaves move in the wind, just like being really present for a few minutes a day. This is cumulative, and over time, even after a week of practicing that daily, you are going to be granted a pause, a space, a moment before you react to everything in your life. And so this pause gives you the opportunity to remember that you have two modes. You can react in your fear mode of focusing on the negative and focusing on what's lacking, or you can react in the gracious or gratitude mode, focusing on the positive in every single situation. So just a quick story. Recently, a client lost a family member to COVID. And because she's been doing these mindful practices for months now, even after a couple weeks of processing the death of this close family member, she was already able to find a silver lining and lean more into that and move through the grief in a more emotionally liberating way. That's not to say that it's not honoring the person that passed, but it is a healthier, more mentally well way to process tragedy that we all need to process at some point in our lives. So mindful practice, number 3. Number 4, start to improve the quality of the ingredients. So might not seem really intuitive here, but take us back to feeling grateful for the food on our plates. Upping the quality of the ingredients has double impact. One, that you can be even more grateful for the quality because it's going to taste better and you're going to feel better. But 2, when you start to feel better, it is easier when you feel better and you have this mindful ability to pause for you to control your emotions and therefore feel into gratitude more often, meaning we don't get pulled into our negative thought loops as much. And instead, when we're feeling light, when we're feeling good, when we are nourishing ourselves more completely, we find it easier to shift into gratitude mode. And ultimately, with all these things building up over weeks of practice, you find that your gratitude mode might actually become almost your default, and that you almost never shift into fear, or you see yourself potentially shifting into fear and you can still course correct. So number 5, the last thing I suggest to my clients, and honestly, it's one of the things we almost always focus on in the first or second session because it is a game changer. It is so simple and anyone can do it. Start a gratitude journal. I'm guessing you've already heard this, but let me explain to you why. Starting a gratitude journal helps us shift our, biological monkey minds that not only gravitate towards fear, they are biologically designed to notice everything in our environment that's potentially a threat. And so it is natural that we have these negative thought loops, but the fact that we have been in them probably for decades makes it that much more difficult for us to get free of them, become free of the negative thought loops. So this exercise, which is simply, you can do it, I like to do it at bedtime, but you could do it in the morning or at some point in the day. It literally takes 2 minutes, 5 minutes at most. You're just going to start a separate journal that every day you note down 3 things you're grateful for. And how does this work, right? So the first week, for sure, maybe even 2 weeks, it's really easy. You think, I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my work. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for travel. I don't know. Bigger things come to mind, right? And it's relatively easy to think of 3 new things a day. After a couple of weeks, it forces you to get really creative and think outside the box in terms of what you're grateful for. And this in turn trains your mind. So now you wake up every day and you go through your day looking for things that you're grateful for, meaning like you've completely shifted your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from fear to great gratitude. So this is so powerful and so simple. I urge you to start one or more of these steps today so that you can start to leverage the power of gratitude in your life. Thanks for being here. If you want to reach out and connect, you can find me on social media, on Instagram or Facebook at Megan Swan Wellness, or connect with me via my website at meganswanwellness.com. Thanks for listening. Thank you so much for listening to Energetically You. I hope that this episode has helped you to tune into your natural energy sources so that you feel more energized and focused throughout your day. If you enjoyed the episode, please take a second to rate and review. Each review helps us to help more ambitious women just like you accomplish their goals. Don't forget to take a screenshot, share it on social, or in your Instagram stories, and tag me at Megan Swan Wellness. See you soon.